Welcome back, everyone, to my YouTube channel, The End Times Research Ministry. My name is Frank DeMora, and I'm the author of the book, The Last Chronicles of Planet Earth, of which you can get today for free. Come to my website, and when you get to my website, you'll see it just like this. Scroll down, and you can click in to my December 4th, 2013 updated book, where we'll get all of the information to you for free, absolutely free. And there is a chapter about God's curse in my book, and I want to add a little bit of that information. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But first, we need to go to what the Lord told us from His Word. In Genesis 12:3, as you see here highlighted in yellow, this is what the Lord says, "And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed." So God promises, if you deal with Israel and you bless Israel in your dealings, you will be what? You will be blessed. Now the opposite is true. If you curse Israel, expect to get cursed. So it's a matter of each individual, how they're going to treat Israel. And especially when we're coming to world leaders, they should consider what the Lord says, because the whole country is going to suffer for a person who does something against Israel if they're the leader of the country. And so Joel also talks about this. Joel's prophecies in the Old Testament in chapter 3, verse 2. "And I will also gather all nations will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." So again, curses, destruction on people who try to divide up the land of Israel, like the United States is doing. So they've fallen under the curse. Now Zechariah 12:3, "And in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it." So all the people are going to be coming against Israel in the last days. We see that happening now more and more. Nations are falling away from Israel left and right. And that includes the United States. And the United States, again, as I said in the beginning of this video, they are a cursed nation because they are working to divide up the land of Israel. And Barack Obama is burdening himself, the big burden I call it, with Jerusalem. He's trying to give the capital, make the capital of the Palestinian new state that he's trying to get, and make East Jerusalem its capital. And of course, when you do this, you burden yourselves over Jerusalem, and you end up getting what? Well, the Lord says, if you believe it, cut into pieces. So they're going to have to deal with God. And let me show you another one of the events. Let me just bring this out to you because, like I said, I have a chapter in it, and I show you when the leaders went against Israel and they tried to divide up the land, or they went into the peace process to try to give territories away to the PLO and to the Arabs. So let me bring you to the first article. Now, we're at their link here, thejewishpress.com. And you notice, I want you to take a look at the date here. This was December the 4th, 2013. Now, what was going on here, this news article is warning or telling the people of Israel, here comes John Kerry, the Secretary of State. Look at this. It says, "Kerry riding a loaded freight train to run over Israel. The Obama administration is preparing to knife Israel in the back by forcing it to accept concessions on land and security to keep the Palestinian Authority happy." Now notice the date. The article came out. This was actually on a Wednesday. And keep in mind that Israel is a day in front of us. But the article went out on the 4th, Wednesday, telling us that John Kerry was going to be arriving in the Israeli territory on Thursday. So take a look at this. It says this: U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is coming to Israel Thursday, and you'll see the significance of this in a second. Thursday night with a 1-2 knockout punch that puts on the table American plans for Israel's security in a Palestinian authority state. So again, there you have it, trying to divide up the land of Israel. No good is going to be coming of it. So while the Jewish press there, the Jewish Express Press, is writing about John Kerry coming, John Kerry is on his way. I want to show you what happens when you go against Israel. And this happens just about every single time that leaders try to do this, try to divide up the nation of Israel. So keep in mind, John Kerry lands on Thursday, which is the 5th. Now I'm going to bring you to ABC Link. Let's go to it. Now the news that you're going to see is the day after, keep in mind, the day after Kerry lands in Israel to try to separate the Jews from their own land. Watch this.
A massive ice storm blanketing so much of the country right now. ABC's Mike Betcher has the latest from Dallas. Good morning, Mike.
This is frankly the kind of morning you want to roll over and go back to bed in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Ice has been falling since midnight in exposed areas. Accumulations you see everywhere, anywhere from a half an inch to 3 inches. 100,000 customers are without power. Tree limbs are snapping. Stores overnight emptied of most important commodities. People decided if they lost power, they had to stock up, and they did. Behind me, the High Five Interchange, one of the busiest interchanges in Dallas. It is almost empty. This time of day, it should be full. Now, these warnings are not just for Dallas. 19 states are being hit by this winter storm, but here in this area, it's supposed to end by midday.
Now get that, 19 states, and there's going to be more information about this later, but that's a lot of states being hit by one of the worst white ice storms to hit America here.
Least. Robin, George?
Boy, that is now what you...
All right, so now I want to take you to a day after, and this storm is even worse. Once again, I take you to the ABC Link, their news, and you can see the date here, 12/6/2013. They give you some more news about this massive ice storm that's moving across America in the middle of the U.S. and now heading towards the east, as you will see.
Friday, a massive storm moving through the middle of the country, and Ginger's tracking it all. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, good morning to you guys. You know, this is not just one city. This is more than 2,000 miles from New Mexico to New England that has some sort of...
2,000 miles. You want to mess with Israel? Go ahead, but you're going to be paying the consequences for it, that's for sure.
No, sleet, freezing rain, and just mess. Power lines and trees are down in the south. We've got states of emergency, and look what it looks like on the roads this morning, live in Dallas. It is just such an ice rink, and that's what you're going to find in so many places. And this is just Storm 1. That's right, we've got Storm 1 that we're dealing with all the winter storm watches, warnings, and advisories, but there's a
So there you have it. And I'm going to play the rest of it for you, but you've got this massive storm that's knocked out powers for thousands of people in different areas around the United States, 2,000 miles long, and it's one storm, and there's another storm behind it. You want to mess with Israel? Good luck.
One that's going to bring snow to places like Sacramento, possibly Las Vegas. We'll be talking about that coming up. And this first one is not over. Here's how much more ice is going to fall in the next 24 hours, up to a quarter inch in some places. We don't need it. Let's go to Arkansas for Steve Osunsami. He's got the story.
From Texas to Minnesota, what's being called Ice Friday in full effect. A dangerous combination of sub-zero temperatures, sleet and freezing rain, and sheets of black ice over roadways, up to half an inch thick in places, sending drivers flying. Families rushed grocery stores, worried they could be shut in. In Oklahoma, where the governor has declared a state of emergency, this out-of-control semi slid right through 3 guardrails and across traffic before plunging into a lake. And overnight, there was high drama in West Frankfort, Illinois. This family's car slid off a road and flipped into a water-filled ditch. Firefighters struggling to rescue all of them, including this 10-year-old boy. There was more of the same in northern Texas, expected to continue there today.
We were just started going sideways, and then we were on oncoming traffic.
In Arkansas, branches frozen over with ice are weighing down on power lines, leaving more than 3,000 without power, even sparking fires where sagging lines got too close to trees. And powerful winds and black ice throwing campers clear off the road in central Minnesota. In Montana, a new worry this morning, the threat of avalanches.
The weather can't decide what it wants to be. A second ago it was rain, then it switched to this sleet, and now it's turned into snow. Those families making a run for supplies in this state, parts of Tennessee, and especially northern Texas, where more than 57,000 people are without power this morning. Robin?
Now, if you want to see all of the news about God's curse and how each country has been affected when their leader tries to divide up the land of Israel, just go to my website again and download my book today and read that chapter. You're going to be amazed.